What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. We hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and that the draft being over has not made you too sad. There are still a lot of things to come over the course of the offseason. Next week, we will reportedly have the new NFL schedule and therefore the new Dallas Cowboys schedule. We'll have you covered with all that here on the Blogging the Boys YouTube channel. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers. So if you have not yet, please consider subscribing here to our channel. Please check out bloggingtheboys.com. Search for Blogging the Boys wherever you get your content. I promise you there will be something there available for you. Today here on the YouTube channel, we're going to be talking about something very specific. Now, the Cowboys currently sit at 89 players on their overall roster with all their returning veterans, with their 8 drafted players, their 13 undrafted free agents. They obviously have the post-June 1st cut thing to handle for Zeke Elliott, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there is always room to do a little bit more. So today, we're going to be talking about 3 players, 3 veterans who the Dallas Cowboys, now that the draft is over, should consider bringing onto or into their roster. We will start with a kicker. The Cowboys, after the draft was over, said that they would probably look to the veteran market to add a kicker. At present moment, Tristan Vizcaino is the only kicker of note on the Cowboys roster. And all due respect to Tristan, that would not be a great plan moving forward into 2023. Now, the kicker position has been one that has been a little bit in flux for the Cowboys ever since moving on from Dan Bailey in 2018. Brett Maher handled things, and then it got really rough near the end of 2019. Ever since then, the Cowboys have bounced to and fro. Greg Zuerlein had an opportunity for 2 years and didn't really work out there either. Brett Maher fell into the job last year after the Cowboys basically handed the job to an undrafted free agent. You will recall this time a year ago, we were all excited about Jonathan Garibay, the undrafted free agent out of Texas Tech. That did not materialize. Okay, now here we are, Tristan Vizcaino. We can't do that. All right, Robbie Gould is a name that makes too much sense. He has never missed a kick in the playoffs. He obviously has been very successful against the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs over the last couple of years. And so he's the best guy. Like, that's really what this comes down to. This is just like, I don't understand how AI works, but you could like ask AI, who's the best kicker option for the Dallas Cowboys? And they would say, Robbie Gould. He's the best kicker on the market, the best kicker that is available right now. The Cowboys happen to have a need at the position. And I know that people roll their eyes when you talk about kicker. People act like you shouldn't give it a high level of priority. Here's the thing. Kickers score points. You cannot treat this position in a casual, cavalier way. That is something that we have seen the Dallas Cowboys do over the last couple of seasons. Now, again, they did not spend a draft pick on a kicker. 2 of them went earlier than I think a lot of people thought that they would, so nobody's really mad about that. They did not sign one in undrafted free agency. They have left themselves here to where they now have to go to the veteran market. Robbie Gould needs a home. Go get Robbie Gould, Dallas Cowboys. That is our command to you. Let's move on to number 2. And it kind of, again, is, something that has to do with the aftermath of the draft. That's really the whole premise of this conversation. Dalton Risner is a guard option available. And this really kind of comes down to how you feel about the Cowboys guard position as a whole. Now, at present time, if you and I had to assemble the starting Dallas Cowboys offensive line, we'll go right to left because it's pretty chalk over there, right? Terrence Steele is your right tackle in all likelihood. Zach Martin, obviously your right guard. Tyler Biadasz, your center. Now we're at left guard and things are a little bit weird. And it gets a little bit more weird when we get to left tackle. There are a lot of questions to answer. Is Tyron Smith going to be playing left tackle? Because if he is, then that means Tyler Smith is probably playing left guard. Then we don't have an issue here. That means Terrence Steele is probably playing right tackle. I think we all would agree this is the most optimum situation, optimum scenario. However, is Tyler Smith playing left tackle? That's not the opposite of optimum, but it is the opposite of optimum. It's a hard thing to say. Opposite of optimum. I said it 3 times in a row, I guess. But if Tyler Smith is playing left tackle, who's playing left guard? This is where the question comes into play. Is Terrence Steele kicking over to the other side and kicking inside to play left guard? I'm a little bit weary of that. And beyond being weary of that, now who's playing right tackle? Is Tyron Smith playing right tackle? Who's playing right tackle if Terrence Steele's playing left guard? Okay, maybe Terrence Steele's playing right tackle. Is Josh Ball playing left guard? Is Matt Farniok playing left guard? Is Awesome Richards playing left guard? The Cowboys' 5th-round rookie out of North Carolina? What's happening at left guard? That's where the questions kind of persist. There was a reason, of course, that we all were in Steve Avila or Osiris Torrance or Matthew Bergeron. If you watch the Will McClay video that the Dallas Cowboys put out when they debated between Bergeron and Mozzie Smith with the 26th overall pick, you don't have a clear, concise, obvious option. And some of that is self-induced in a good way. I think there's a negative stigma with the term self-induced, but some of that is self-induced because of the Tyron Smith factor. Because we don't know what's going to happen with Tyron Smith, where he's going to play, we can't beyond a shadow of a doubt say where Tyler Smith is going to play. The Cowboys can talk about how they want to play Tyler Smith at left tackle, want to start kind of the future now, et cetera, et cetera. But that all leads back to what's going to happen at left guard. And a question that potentially is baked within that is what's going to happen at right tackle. So if you want some options along the offensive line, Dalton Risner is one name to pay attention to. Had a questionable end with the Broncos there around Christmas time, but has had some quality starts over the last couple of years. So that is a name to pay attention to. Similarly, if you want a tackle option, because right now, the Cowboys, we're talking about Isaiah Wynn, if that isn't obvious, right? The Cowboys, what's going to happen at right tackle? I just laid out all the questions for you here. And these questions make it seem like they're up a creek, right? These questions make it seem like things are bad, and they may not be bad. The Cowboys may have a plan that they're just not letting us know about, right? And while that is bothersome on a knowledge level, it's kind of a good thing. Good for you, Cowboys. Keep the cards close to the vest. We'll sit here on the Blog of the Boys YouTube channel. We'll pontificate. We'll speculate. We'll kind of bounce the ball back and forth, and we'll figure it out, try to decode what you're doing ourselves. That being said, is Terrence Steele playing right tackle? Even if that's the case, I put it to you. Who is the swing tackle on this team? Maybe you say Tyron Smith if he's not playing. Maybe it's Matt Waletzko. Maybe it is Josh Ball if he doesn't kick inside. I don't know. But I do know that you are probably, in all likelihood, going to be tested from an injury depth, whatever you want to call it, standpoint along the offensive line. So getting in somebody like Isaiah Wynn would go a long way towards helping you out. And that's something that I think the Cowboys have to do. So those are the three names to pay attention to. And shocker, there aren't a lot of awesome free agents available right now. We're past the draft. And shocker, beyond all of that, there aren't a lot of roster spots available on the Cowboys. We could sit here and list out 10 players, but the likelihood of the Cowboys bringing in any one of them is microscopically small. Again, they did bring in Anthony Barr last year. They did bring in Kevontae Turpin. That really kind of came out of nowhere. 2 years ago, the Cowboys brought in Malik Hooker. I would venture to guess, and this is purely a guess, that before the Cowboys play a preseason game, they will probably sign a new player at some point down the road. Who will that player be? What position will that player play? All of these are very fair questions that we'll, of course, be discussing between now and then. My name is RJ Ochoa. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at RJ Ochoa. On TikTok, somebody took that, so I had to go with RJ.Ochoa. I am also RJ.Ochoa at SBNation.com if you would like to send me an email, or you can leave a comment down below, and we will do our best to get to those as well. Do you like any of these options? Do you have any others that you would like to see the Cowboys go out and pursue? We would love to hear what you have to say. The march to 20,000 subscribers rolls on here on the Blog of the Boys YouTube channel. So please make sure you subscribe if you have not done so already. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you eat something delicious for dinner. I hope you watch something awesome on Netflix. And whatever it is, I hope you give me the recommendations so that I can watch it as well. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you next time.